Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sales Performance Improvement Radio. I'm your host, Terry Hansen. Great to be with you as always. Excited to be spending some time with you to share with you some insights that I gained over the last couple of weeks as we have been grinding in this new tech company that I've been working with for the last 60 days, helping our executive teams gain a greater insight, greater visibility into the inner workings of sales revenue in the company. And got some really cool insights to share with you. So stick with me. For over 15 years, I ran a successful outsourced sales enablement and consulting firm before it was acquired by Rise Holdings in 2020. But while I was able to help hundreds of my own clients improve their sales productivity, marketing effectiveness, and grow their revenue, the sales growth game is always changing. Every year brings new challenges to growing sales as technology, competition, economic conditions, and customer buying behavior change. In these turbulent times, how do you improve sales and marketing and grow revenue when you're new to your leadership position, or you don't have the right resources in place, or you're just battling dysfunction inside your own company? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. These days, I'm on a new quest to discover what's working in today's dynamic sales and marketing environment and bringing those treasures and insights back to you. My name is Terry Hansen, and this is Sales Performance Improvement Radio. So we're sitting kind of in the middle of the month of June here in 2022, and just a little bit over 60 days ago, I joined this California tech company as the director of sales, operations, and enablement, as you probably remember and know. And I remember when I got hired, the VP, my boss, he was very clear that one of the things that the company had struggled with for several weeks, several months, kind of leading up to that point was sales reporting. Now we use a very robust sales CRM piece of software that's very common in the industry, and everybody uses it. And it's got some very robust reporting capabilities. And no joke, he told me that he runs probably several hundred various kinds of sales reports out of this CRM every single week. And he told me, he said, we have to figure out a way to standardize our sales reporting. So I'm not getting ad hoc, one-off, crazy, random report requests every other minute of the day. And it's just taking up way too much time. We got to standardize this and get the executives, the kinds of things that they need so that they can run the company effectively and make the kind of decisions that they do. Over the last 60 days, as I have been working closely inside the company, I've realized the power of translating some of the key bits and pieces of knowledge and insight that executives need, translating those into questions. And for example, an executive might say, I need to know exactly how many customers we've acquired over the last 30 days, or what our level of profit margin is on such and such. And taking those kinds of requests, or I want to see how this thing relates to this thing, translating those into questions has been a pretty powerful exercise. And I was reminded of a couple of quotes from Tony Robbins, one of my great mentors and heroes. He had to say these statements about questions. He said, number one, the quality of our questions determine the quality of our lives. And I think about that in terms of in a business context. And I think about, if we want quality companies, if we want quality sales growth, if we want quality sales effectiveness and efficiency and all of those kinds of things, then we should be asking better quality questions. And the better the question is, the more we will be able to get a better quality answer that'll lead us in better directions. Another quote from Tony Robbins, he said, quality questions create a quality life. Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. All of us want to have quality lives, but in this context, we also want to have quality sales teams. We want to have quality sales processes. We want to have quality sales reporting. We want to have quality sales growth month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year. So what's one of the secrets of having a quality sales organization? Well, successful companies seem to be asking better questions. And as a result, they get better answers, which enable them to do lots of different things. So in an effort to knowing that you and I, as sales enablement, sales management, sales operations leaders, we've got to be translating the executive asks and the bits and pieces of reporting requests that they need, translating those into good questions, and then analyzing the underlying variables and the bits of metrics and data that need to be pulled in order to answer those questions. I wanted to turn some attention to this whole topic of analytics and the types of questions that we might ask. There are really four different layers, four different categories of questions or analytics that we might look at. The first level or the first type of question or analytics is what they call descriptive analytics. Descriptive questions or descriptive analytics really mean what is it or what was it, say. For example, if I could ask a descriptive question like, again, how many sales did we close last month? Or what's our current monthly reoccurring revenue, right? Descriptive analytics tell us what things are or what things were in the past, kind of depending on the term, right? But the second category of questions or analytics that we might look at is diagnostic analytics. Now, as you can probably understand, diagnostic analytics or questions help us reveal what caused those things. So if we ask the question, what's our customer churn rate, or what's our customer retention rate? And the answer comes back, it's very high, or if the answer comes back very low, then we naturally progress on to a diagnostic question or a diagnostic report or analytics report that would tell us why the customer retention rate is so low or why the customer retention rate is so high. And so an example of a diagnostic question might be is how many meetings did our account managers schedule with existing clients over the last quarter? Or how many times did our AEs upsell or cross-sell existing customers additional products and services? So, and based on the answers to those questions, those help us get an answer of why the descriptive thing might have been what it was. So that's kind of category number two. Category number three of these kind of analytics type questions is predictive analytics. Predictive simply means if the current trend continues, what can I expect the outcome or result to be sometime in the future? We're trying to predict what's going to happen if all things being equal, if everything kind of stays the same. So an appropriate predictive type question might be is what's our estimated revenue for the third quarter, or by the end of the year, how many salespeople should we have on board, or something like that. Again, if the current trend continues, what will a future condition or state be? The fourth and final category of analytics or questions that we might ask is prescriptive, like a doctor prescribes or recommends something. And that's kind of where you flip-flop backwards. You say something like, if I want to close $1 million in revenue by the end of the year, let's just say, what do I need to be doing today? Meaning, if I want a certain outcome in the future, what should I be doing right now, right? So those are prescriptive reports or prescriptive analytics. So I wanted to give you a couple of examples of what those look like. And for our purposes inside of our company, we're just actually looking at the first three elements: descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive, those first three levels. But I wanted to give you several examples of these kinds of questions and invite you really to think about what's your level of visibility into the inner workings of your sales organization? How well do you know what's happening, why it's happening, and if the current trend continues, what will happen in the future? Those things are really terribly vital to understand, not only as in sales operations and enablement, but in revenue operations and at all levels of senior at the senior executive level. So let me go ahead and, with permission, those of you who are watching this, the full video here, I'd like to share my screen and actually show you what some of these look like. Okay, so I'm for those of you who are just listening into the podcast, I'll go ahead and describe these. So I've created an Excel spreadsheet, and at the very bottom, I've got basically 3 or 4 tabs. Tab number 1 has a list of descriptive analytics questions, really focusing on the what. The second tab at the bottom focuses on diagnostic analytics, really kind of identifying the why things are happening. The third tab focuses on predictive analytics, really helping us understand when something will happen in the future. And like I said, I don't have a fourth tab with that fourth category of prescriptive because we're not even there yet organizationally. But under this first tab of descriptive, let me read a couple of the sample questions to kind of get your juices flowing and ideas kind of flowing through your brain. Question number one that we are examining and looking at right now, for example, are our AEs, our account executives, hitting their sales forecasts? And the answer to that question is a simple yes or no. If they are yes, great. If their answer no, then we can immediately move to a diagnostic type report to figure out why. Question number two is, what is our total sales revenue as measured in monthly reoccurring revenue? Number three, how is our sales revenue changing from month to month? How many new clients did we acquire? How much new revenue came from our existing customers? All of those, as well as many, many more, are examples of good descriptive questions that we currently are looking at right now and working to generate better quality reports to help us gain better visibility there. So I go to the second tab, diagnostic analytics. Let me give you some examples of what these might look like as well. Question number one, how good are we at converting new leads into qualified opportunities? Question two, how good are we at converting qualified opportunities into closed deals? Number three, why do we lose sales? Number four, how long is the sales cycle from opportunity creation to closed won? Number five, how long is the operation cycle from closed won to service creation? What part of the sales pipeline do we struggle with the most? What is the number of customer interactions? What is the quality of those customer interactions? How well do we do at selling all of our services to existing clients? How accurate is our sales forecasting? So all of those, there's 10 of those that I just blasted at you, but all of those are examples of good diagnostic questions trying to help us figure out if something's wrong, where is it? Why is it wrong? What pieces are missing? Because obviously in sales operations as well as sales management, we've got to, if something's not working, if something's broken, we've got to diagnose exactly where the problem is in the sales process and do a good job at figuring that out. Okay. Now, right now, we don't have a terrible amount of predictive analytics questions. We've just got two that we're focusing on. I invite you to figure out your own and come up with more. But are the two that we're really working on right now is what's our forecasted revenue for the next 3 quarters as measured in monthly recurring revenue? And another question is do we have enough salespeople to achieve our revenue goals? So anyway, like I said, I share those examples of these kinds of questions with you to really get your juices flowing and get you thinking about, do you have good visibility into what is going on in your sales organization? Do you understand if things are on or off? Why? Do you have good sales reports that help you diagnose why things are good or why things are not so good? And do you have good analytics reports that predict, in essence, if the current trends continue, what your revenue or what your fill in the blank might be in the future? And then finally, are there key goals and objectives and outcomes that you are focused on as an organization, say revenue-wise, that you'd like to have some good analytics prescribing to you what should be done right now in order to hit those benchmarks? So those are the 4 levels of analytics. Those are the kinds of questions that really everybody should be on the same page looking at, discussing, talking about, analyzing, and whatnot in your organization. So anyway, this whole area of asking good questions that produce better quality answers is something that we don't talk a lot about, but really is a key thing that we need to think more about and work harder at building dashboards and reports that give us that kind of level of visibility. So anyway, I hope these examples and this whole topic has been helpful for you and got you thinking about how what your level of visibility is inside of your company. So as always, if you liked our conversation today, be sure to hit the like button and smash that subscribe button, and so you can get notified every single week of new episodes coming out. But be sure to leave your questions down below in the comments section. What What other topics do you want to focus on? What would really help you? What are some of the key challenges and struggles that you're running into in your organization? Let's chat. Post them down below and let's have a good conversation, uncovering some of the key answers and solutions to those problems and questions. So great to be with you. Keep up the good work. Have a great rest of your week. Can't wait to be back with you once again, right back here on Sales Performance Improvement Radio. Take good care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hey, it's Terry again. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I wanted to extend a special invitation for you that I really think might make a difference for you and your organization. You know, growing sales in any organization is tough, primarily because while you and I really are trying hard and doing our very best, we're still humans and we're constantly battling dysfunction and problems internally with our sales playbooks and content and CRMs and sales training and all the data and analytics, our sales processes, the onboarding and compensation plans. All of those things play a role in growing and scaling revenue. So how do we get to the point where we can really grow sales when we're battling so much dysfunction internally in a variety of different areas? Well, the answer is we ultimately just need a really good toolbox. Sales enablement tools designed specifically for your and my trade. I'd like to introduce to you the weekly Sales Enablement Toolbox newsletter. It's a customized newsletter specifically for your business. And the best part is it delivers the right tools to solve the right problems when you need them. All you do is select the topics that you want the newsletter to focus on each week, and it's delivered right to your inbox via email each week. And the best part is, of course, it's free. So click the link in the description to this particular show or episode to sign up for the Sales Enablement Toolbox newsletter and select the topics that you'd like to focus on. I can't wait for you to start receiving it and really get your hands on the tools for the trade that you need to continue to grow sales inside your organization. So thanks again, and can't wait to see you soon.